we don't mean to do these every week, but Mike came over and we just watched Jordan Peele's Us, released in 2018. If you're here, it's why are you looking for spoilers? You will find all of them.
Oh, okay. Thank God we can say spoilers.
Oh my
okay.
God, what kind of a fucking spoiler-free review is this?
Okay, now I get why when you came up to me the first time, you're like, Mike, Us. I can't say anything. Uh-huh. Damn. Okay. Yeah, because there's not much.
Literally any motion into the plot becomes spoiler territory.
Okay. Well, you have. Okay, this is the second time you've seen it, so let's just get the plot out of the way. Go. Well, I'll stutter over because I just saw it.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so a group of 4 people is on a vacation in Santa Cruz, and one day they said, "Hey, there's a family outside our driveway, and they look exactly like us," and they just said, "Fucking go."
And the family, the clone family outside
would like to murder you.
Yeah, would like to murder you. Sometimes, but sometimes I want to talk to you.
No, you got to get your agenda across.
Unless you're the white family in the rich house.
They're secondary characters. It's all good.
No, I'm not. I get it. There are dramatic reasons why they didn't just go stabby, stab, stab.
Yes.
Because that wife had some reason.
Okay, we were joking about. I was trying to come up with the stupidest fucking reason for there to be clones in the movie to like fake spoil Mikey. Like there are velociraptors that turn into people and they want to kill them.
You weren't kidding about like. So the president has designed a bunch of.
The point is the government. Okay,
you were just I know. I'm not saying that's what the plot was, but you were just like spouting like some random clone plots.
The president wants to clone some people for product placement purposes.
I thought you were just doing total bullshit. I didn't.
Oh no, yeah, one of them was halfway true. I see. A couple of people would like there not to have been a specific answer to why there are clones of everybody underneath the ground. So to some people, it was a little much to have them go, we tried to clone human beings to control them, but we couldn't clone the soul.
Okay.
And so that's a little TMI for some people. I can go either way. You can choose to ignore it.
And I guess, so when the daughter is in the car referencing, hey, and she's on the phone going, hey, the government is putting fluorine or fluoride in the water to control people.
It was a subtle reference, I guess.
And everyone's like, well, I guess no one cares about the apocalypse. Okay, that's
it's so nice. Jordan Peele loves to.
I for me, just watching this movie, I agree with.
You also prefer Us over Get Out?
No. I'm saying I would have preferred no explanation.
Okay, yeah, they gave you a teeny bit, but I don't really mind that much. Jordan Peele loves to hide references everywhere, both like horror movie references and like allusions to future plot points in the movie. For example, and I'm gonna spout them the entire movie. Hint number 1: at the dinner table, the mom is the only one not eating fast food. It's gonna go okay. Hint number 2: that Jeremiah 11:11 quote, a really generic Bible quote. It's only meant to
the double
symmetry. Yeah. It's only meant to illustrate symmetry that there are less people. This is really fucking good, and I have so many. I don't know what to. Okay, here's one thing that when my wife, we were on vacation in Kansas City, yeah, and we went to see this at the Alamo Draft House, and my wife saw that I was excited, but I couldn't put my words into words.
Now, and can you put the words?
I was in the shower, and she's like, baby, what'd you like about Us? I'm like, they're fucking eating the rabbits. That's the only time in my entire life I thought it was a hoity-toity metaphor. They are literally eating the rabbits.
Oh, and that conversation at the fireplace where she's talking about when the girl got Christmas presents.
We had to have hard, sharp stuff, and when you got meals, I had to eat cold rabbit.
Okay. I
thought you were just saying scary shit. But honestly, there's a lot of, like, on the second viewing, a lot of these I see dead people twist hints are everywhere.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, I absolutely did not see it coming. I left the last 10 minutes of my first playthrough with my like jaw just wide open.
Okay, I guess I watched most of the movie convinced that they were switched, and then for some reason I kind of dropped it at the fight scene.
Yeah,
but that's exactly when I should have went. Oh, wait a second. I don't know why.
Why seeing them together? You're like
no. I thought that I don't know. I guess for some reason during the underground scene, I said they're not going to do that. They switched. I should have just kept trusting my guts.
Yep.
Because there's okay, and I should have really stuck to my guns when right at that scene, and this I really did enjoy this scene when the husband is sprawled on the bed, he's ready for magic time.
Yeah, he's such a good dude.
And the wife is staring at the window, and she's speaking awkwardly. It's really good acting. Like she's just you can tell there's something wrong. She is really disturbed, and this is like the first crack.
Yeah,
as an adult. And also, I don't know if this was a reference, but she lifts one foot up in a weird, almost a dance move.
I didn't notice. This shit's full of other details.
And she doesn't look at him, and her explanation of why she's freaked out is legitimately creepy.
Lots of really good cinematography regarding shadows and reflections.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I do appreciate a movie that makes you look in the background for stuff that isn't there.
Yeah. Okay, so, oh my God. So the first person they killed was the Jeremiah 11:11 guy.
Who was warning.
He's just a guy. But whose tether was shown on the beach waiting to start forming the chain.
Who was the... Oh... So, okay, his clone was the awkward guy in the beach.
His tether,
with just his fingers were bleeding, and he had just killed that guy. Okay.
Yeah, so he's waiting. He's waiting. He's the first member of the chain.
Okay.
Hint number 3.
Because he's the prophet.
He's not the prophet. If anything,
he's holding a sign that says Jeremiah. He's the prophet of this new movement, and she's the savior that comes. Oh, come on.
Hint number...
Read your own movie symbolism.
Hint number... My own movie. Hint number 3. They talk about kill counts in the movie. At the end of the movie, they've each killed 2 people.
Oh.
Hint number 4. This blows my fucking mind. The deaths of the Tether family represent the 4 elements. The dad was drowned. The son walked backwards into the fire. The mom was killed underground, and the daughter was hung upside down in a tree.
Okay,
it's so good. I'm mad I can't play F the Police in my house. It's such a good scene. Just
that's a lot of damn symbolism.
Yeah,
it's really
comes straight from the underground. He gave me a look. I should have my phone out. He gave me a look.
Usually I've been reserving that look lately for Mr. Peanut Butter, but today I meant that in a good way.
Good German expressionism, Mr. Peanut Butter. Oh my God, just I'm having Okami problems. I can't do anything except say this is really good. This is really good. This is really good.
Okay, well then I'm going to make you talk.
Okay.
Do
you have something? Do you want to tackle Hands Across America?
Do I want to tackle?
Now here's the thing: is that
So just fully elaborate on the plot here, because you gave up.
Okay, for people that are too young to remember, myself included, I had to have this explained to me. Hands Across America was a look pretty, do as little as possible movement to help fight homelessness and hunger in America.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is, I'm going to hold hands across America. Okay, great. Then what? Is that going to solve hunger? I don't know. Also, the logistics of holding hands in 86. It's not going to solve hunger, so it's silly.
Give them a break. They didn't have hashtags back then.
Okay.
They could have done something.
Hashtag Hands Across America. And then the reason they chose that as their symbol was because when she, the prophet savior, went down, that was the shirt she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, when they call themselves, "Who are you?" "We are Americans."
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're alluding to.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah,
are you ready? Okay. One thing that I thought that all of what's the opposite of subtext? A supertext? Subtext. Okay. I thought that all of Jordan Peele's movies were gonna have a racial subtext. There's almost none here. The fact that it's a black family has very little to do.
Yeah. Very little.
They have Tim Heidecker. How did you get Tim Heidecker in this movie? You just want a kind of a schlubby. Okay, it doesn't matter. He did a good job. The wife did a good job. What I like is that a lot of the people's mannerisms, the Tethers are only doing that because that's what they've been doing underground. They don't know the context. When I try to help you up, I go too slow, Slick.
Yeah, he's very awkward about it. Everyone, they've been mimicking
the people down there.
Yeah.
That is quintessential. I have no mouth and I must scream. And that upsets me.
Like, how long have they been down there? What was that kid going through when he was just mimicking that magic trick and it lit his face on fire? So when the mom upground says, you don't burn the house down, the other kid actually burned his...
Okay, is there a theme in some of the characters where because of the inspiration of this outsider, that there's so many of these things that they their hobbies or their talents, they don't give up on them. The teenage daughter continues to run. The little kid keeps doing magic tricks, even if it fucks his face up.
Okay, yeah, but they can only
and the main rebel girl that was originally the little girl, she continues to dance because it's the only thing from the
dance,
that's the only thing from the above ground that she can retain.
Maybe it's a measured.
I don't know what the dad was doing.
Maybe it's shouting and doing all stuff. Maybe it's just a measured thing where I don't want to think too hard about this. I don't want to get too cinema-sensy about it. But maybe it's like I gave up on it, so that's something you can have.
Okay.
So like a dream or a.
But this is the shadow America that deserves its chance, because it's not giving up.
Well, it's like clone rights, like clones' rights, because I think that if you put yourself in the tethered shoes, if there was a real Mikey, and all he did was lay in bed and you couldn't get up, well, you would want to kill him too.
If I had to look at my life from the outside, and I had to mimic its shattered emotions and go, and I'm stuck in these white hallways, and
that's upsetting.
Okay, that it would just dreaming about the potential you could have if you could just get into the sunlight. Yeah, I want to stab me.
I would also want to stab me. What is going that? Okay, I told my husband before that started. This is the best fight scene I've ever seen.
That was really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Just like punchy, well edited. My benchmark shouldn't be non-shaky cam where I can't tell what's going on. So when there's even a really good fight scene, I think, oh, best ever, 10 out of 10. It's still a good fight scene though.
Those scenes when the family clone first gets in the house, and then they kind of split up and stuff.
Yep.
That pacing's awkward.
Really?
Yeah.
The pacing? Really? When the original
when they then she tells them to like run and stuff, and they all do their separate ways, and
I didn't have a big issue with that.
I find it very.
Well, I also love cross-cutting, so when that happens, like, I like it when multiple shit's going on at once.
I guess I'm kind of surprised because you've said something like you don't like movies that mess with spatial logic.
There is no spatial logic to mess with. It's let's go different places, and no, shut up. It's not The Strangers Pray at Night.
No, okay, this is much better than The Strangers Pray at Night.
But no,
fuck that movie. I want to get that girl with the golf club and go to the other characters in that movie and just, this is how you fucking use a golf club.
This is not the hill we're defending. But these settings have been brought up before. The lake, that closet that doesn't open from the inside. Mm-hmm. Fucking what else? I mean, the street, and then we're here in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all fighting their own.
I just like overall, this movie doesn't work for me.
Ooh.
I find that I don't think it should be a horror movie.
I think so. What? Oh, I got.
Yeah, it is trying. Has this fascinating psychological drama and themes, and then when it tries to, I find it loses me with when it tries to be a horror movie. And there's also this bridge between this woman's personal psychological problems that you later find out, oh boy.
Yeah.
And it's trying to bridge it with this grand societal theme. And I find that in the attempt to stretch across both, it waters down both. We don't find much about the main character.
Maybe should I take over for a while while you formulate your thoughts? You guys can't see it. My wife is working on something in the background. She silently agrees with Mike. She doesn't think it should be a horror film. I'm gonna respect your opinion, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate where I actually agree with the devil. I'm not saying it's connected, but just hear me out. There's this, it's kind of a meme-y complaint, but it's become more valid as time goes by. And it's a theory as to why no horror movies ever get, like, awards. It's because as soon as they get nominated for awards, they become thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I would say this qualifies fairly firmly in...
Well, no, I'm not. It's the dramatic structure of action sequences that, for me, kind of drives attention away from the more interesting symbolism and psychology.
Well,
and it makes it look corny.
Well, do you want a horror movie with subtext, or do you just want like a scary thought piece? You know, like,
well,
maybe I guess I don't know what I'm saying about. I mean, you could be both. I mean, I think that saying whether something is or isn't commentary, it is or isn't a horror movie, is like saying, is this a chair or a table, and is it red or blue? They're independent events.
The disconnect for me in this movie started when the family enters the living room and they're forced to sit down, and the woman, the main villain, starts to talk and explain. It gets too lost in its it seems too torn between, on the one hand, it wants to have this thematic meaning and deep psychology, on the other hand it wants to be a home invasion horror.
Oh, careful with home invasion.
It doesn't want to be a home invasion horror?
I'm not saying okay, as much as I love home invasion horror, it's not a genre to me, because I like home invasion horror, but you don't go to Blockbuster and then see the sign that says home invasion horror.
So you don't think that? Okay, so you agree that if this was trying to be a home invasion horror, it's a
horror. No, it's a horror with a home invasion element to it.
Okay.
I would call home invasion a sub genre.
Of which this is a part of it.
Of which it contains elements, and therefore, yeah, is a part of it.
Okay, so my point.
Okay, so don't because when you peg something like that, it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it a home invasion. By putting a pin in it and saying, okay, home invasion, you're not saying. It feels like you're saying it can't be something else.
It can be. I just think it does it awkwardly. Well, I don't think it does it well.
So are you upset at the change in scope? At how clumsily it goes from being.
I think that in trying to imbue the horror genre with in-depth symbolism and psychology and overt meaning, it does it very bluntly and awkwardly. It starts to stumble over it, in my opinion, with that scene where, for example, she's explaining it over again, the go-to of doppelganger horror, where it turns out the villain was ourselves the entire time, which can be done very badly. This doesn't do it horribly, or doesn't it? I think let me rephrase. Like, I don't think this is a bad movie. I think this is a good movie.
Good.
But I just think that it kind of trips over its own ambition.
Okay.
Because on the one hand, like, okay, again, I want to stress one of my points where on the one hand, it wants to have this psychological in-depth part, but we don't really find out much about this lady. And on the other hand, it wants to have this social theme, but we don't really get much about the grand scheme of things.
Would you rather this had not had the focus of a group of 4 and just been about like a purge style, here's what happens when our clones show up?
On the other direction, I would have more preferred if it was more in depth and if it more focused on the family.
You don't like that it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, that was a little much for me. But
maybe it's just the inherent silliness of Hands Across America, which is hard to bring into the present day for people that even in 86, they didn't 100% know what it was. Who was president in 86? Reagan?
I take it that the little girl doesn't either, which is cute.
Okay. I could be fighting about this forever. It is Reagan. We have our judges in the background who said that the president was Reagan in 86. But I mean, it does kind of dampen the scariness when Ronald Reagan
it's not that. Let me rephrase. I'm not saying it's tripping. Like, the thing that's failing at is that it's not scaring me because of that. In its attempt to delve into all of the grander themes that it's trying to do, I think it trips over the process
of attempting to in a 2. Is it because it needs more time? Would you call this too tight? Because here's the thing: the first time I watched this, it's pretty darn slow, and I remember just too much of it.
Slow, but I was giving it time. Like I don't.
No, slow is not a slur here.
Yeah, I thought like, okay, this thing is trying to do stuff, so it's going to need time.
Yeah. With a lot of Jordan Peele stuff, when you're gonna make references, you have to set them up. You have to stack them. Mm-hmm. And then let them pay off, like the boat, the magic trick, the closet, Hands Across America, that kind of stuff.
He's a very like the economy of his filmmaking is very okay. First off, on just in terms of just cinematography, editing, acting, this movie is good.
It's very good.
This is a really well made movie.
I blinked and we've been doing this for 25 minutes.
But I just feel like its execution in its ambition doesn't land.
I'm trying my best. I want to be like, no, you're wrong. But I'm starting to see you're bringing my 10 down to a 9 right now, and I can't doubt you for that. It's I don't bring you on the podcast for me to say no, you're wrong. And yeah, maybe it's a little clumsy when because there's like a lull in the action. We have it on quiet in the background. We're watching the scene where Tim Heidecker's family gets killed. After they deal with that, they're kind of just sitting. It feels like the movie tried its best to switch gears to a more world focused dystopia.
Yeah, and I do remember when we got to this scene where the families got away from the boat. I was going, okay, this is not working for me. This is not working for me. That chunk of where the families has a sit down with a doppelganger and they talk and then they split. For me, that was the most uncomfortable part of the movie. And then it got to this thing, and I was like, okay, there's a little bit of change in tone here. I'm going to give this a second chance, and I was enjoying this part. I found it entertaining.
When you say uncomfortable, back at that,
I just felt it didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't working. It felt awkward and not uncomfortable. Like, ooh, the horror movie's making me feel awkward.
For some people, the raspy throated voice didn't do it for them. I can kind of see where they're coming from.
Like it didn't make sense. It felt so awkward about why are these people just sitting. It felt like the guys with the people behind the camera didn't know what to do, so they just kept having these people sit down in the chair and going, what do you want? What are we gonna do? I don't know. Because we had to stay put because the main villain had to talk.
Well, you can have like Funny Games has like a home invasion style. Let's sit down and talk about it. I mean, you can make them sit down. I mean,
I don't know what Funny Games is. Sorry.
Oh shit! Okay, put it on the list. Yay!
Okay.
Going back to your home invasion, I don't think that it.
This is America Invasion.
It's a what? Okay, I get it. It shouldn't.
How do you not? Come on.
No, as soon as I realized, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I expected. I think it's because you don't expect a movie with home invasion plot elements to end with dystopian underground revival and takeover. Is it because the scope tries too roughly to change?
That was just an afterthought of the thing that I wasn't comfortable with. I'm like, again, I'm more uncomfortable with the way it's trying to execute the symbolism and the psychology.
You can have more thoughts about this later and get back to me, because I every time I watch this, I'm always like, I need to decompress, because there was a time when I'm like, why did I watch this movie? And then it turned out during that fight scene near the end where I'm like, that's why I watched this movie.
That fight scene.
It does come back and come around. I think that it's okay if a film unravels like that, like I don't know, like the film version of the video game, A Dark Room, where you're looking at a small picture and then it unfolds and it unfolds and there's just more to it.
Sorry, we just saw a guy get a fire poker get in the temple.
Okay.
Like, I don't doubt that there's hordes of references and allusions and connections. I mean, you only have to see the movie once and have your eyes open and go, okay, this movie's dense. But nonetheless, does it all come together? For me, not in a satisfying way. Yes, you can have all the explanations there. If everything doesn't fit, then it doesn't really matter if all the allusions are there. Well, okay, it's not that it doesn't matter, but that's too strong.
Words are failing me in terms of trying to rebut you, with arguments that aren't just screw you for not liking my thing. So I don't want to tackle that using ad hominems or that kind of crap. So I am gonna like leave that be, and if I come to another realization, I'll jump on it. I'm so glad that there can be a horror movie that attempts humor. It does not fall flat on its ass.
The little punctuations of humor in this movie.
I hate splat stick so much. I hate the.
I see what you mean now when you were saying like this movie is much more fluid and organic with its humor than Get Out.
And I you see, it's like I shouldn't look at a D- child and have that be the benchmark, and anything better is a pleasant surprise. There are times when the humor maybe pull it back a little bit, but Mad, do you have any final thoughts?
This is a good movie. Watch it. I recommend it. Yeah,
it's good. Do you prefer it to Get Out? Now, here's the thing. I am deliberately. I know that there are nuances, and some things do things better, and some things do things worse. But I'm gonna do a pass fail here, just for the sake of
pass fail.
If you had to pick one,
with me, Get Out flowed better. It to me, it felt. It
cohered better. There was much more. They're equally slow burns, I think.
And I think it was much better at achieving what it set out to do.
It is upsetting, but
and to us's credit, it is a much more ambitious film.
Yeah.
And that's to be praised, but I don't think that it achieves its ambitions with its means.
Here's where I'm at between right now. I believe I prefer Us, but here's where it's at. To me, Get Out is as bad as it's ever going to get. I'm not gonna Wreck-It Ralph Get Out. I'm not gonna notice something I didn't see before, and it's gonna tarnish the movie. Watching this with you just now has made me realize that small Swiss cheese air pockets are going to start showing up. Maybe not Wreck-It Ralph size.
With both. That's every movie. God, last time I watched some of my favorite movies, like, oh, That part.
I forgot about that. That's bad. I can see this aging a little bit. I like it though. I don't think my my wife was made severely uncomfortable by Get Out, but I'm not have her voice her opinion. I'm not gonna make her choose. She has no dog in this fight.
Pipe down, woman.
Guys, Get Out is now out on Blu-ray and DVD today. Go watch it. Us. What did I say?
You said Get Out.
Oh shit. Well, also Get Out is available on DVD and Blu-ray, but Us is also available on DVD and Blu-ray when this episode comes out. So
watch both of them. Jordan Peele, keep making movies.
Keep making movies. Don't double feature this.
No, don't.
I wouldn't recommend it. They're both too dense for a double feature, but it's fun.
It's a lot better than The Purge.
Purge marathon happening. Mark your calendar.